Hello there guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to another video. Now I know it's been a long time, but here it is, a new video. But this video is not about Chelsea or any other team. As you can see on the screen, this is the Euro 2020 that starts tomorrow night here in the UK. Of course, many other countries have different time, but in the UK, the game starts tomorrow night, and I'm looking forward to it. This is a big game, for every country. Of course, the FIFA World Cup is better than the Euros, but the Euro is like the World Cup, 24 countries battling out to see which team can win the Euros this season. Would it be Portugal again, or would it be not a different team? We shall wait and see. But yes, you guys have been telling me to do this, so yeah, you guys are telling me to do this. So here it is. This is a video about the Euro 2020, everything you need to know about it. So in this video, I'm going to give you the basic introduction to it. I'm going to tell you which countries 24 altogether has in groups. If it, let's say that England is in group A, which team are thrown in them, if you know what I mean. And I'll give you the stats on how they qualify for this Euro 2020. And also, since I'm the Chelsea fan, I'll also be telling you which 17 Chelsea players are playing for their country. I know a few of them, but not all of them. So I'll give you guys which Chelsea players are in this are going to play for their country. So yes, and at the end of the groups, before the video ends, I'm going to tell you guys which team who I think is going to win the Euros this season or this year. It's going to be tough. It's really going to be tough. But stay tuned, because I'm going to tell you which country who I think is going to win it. So stay tuned for that one. So, but first and foremost, let me give you the introduction of the Euros Championship. So basically, the Euros Championship started in 1960. That's when it all started, in 1960. And the Euro 2020, the Euro Championship happens every 4 years. Every 4 years. And guess what? Um, um, the Euros is also part of the leap year, because the leap year starts every 4 years as well. So whenever there's a leap year, that's when the European Championship starts. I know some of you may be confused, but go and check it out and you'll see that I'm right. So that's when it all started in 1960, and it happens every 4 years. And yeah, the team. So yeah, so I'll be giving you guys the trophy. It's almost like the Champions League one, but the design is different. It's different, but I like this trophy. It's really good, really good. So yeah, here's what's gonna happen. So in each European Championship, there's 24 countries. Whoever qualifies will be part of the Euro 2020 or the Euro 20 Championship. So the team are split into four groups. Four of them, since there's six groups, there will be four teams in it, each in their group. So in each of their group, each team will be playing against each other 3 times, not 6 times, just 3 times, because of the rules that they send. So 3 times. So in each of them, two teams will qualify for the knockout stages, where one of them could have a possibility of going through to the next round. Depends. It all depends on the situation. Whereas the one team goes out. So what I mean is that whoever is in first or second place will qualify for the knockout stages. The team who is in third place could have a possibility, but depending on the situation, and whoever is in fourth place will be out. That means they're not going through to the knockout stages. So each team will be battling out to see which team will go out and which other teams will go through to the next round. So that's why I'm enjoying this, because I want to see which teams could have the glory and which team can have a heartbreak. Hopefully, the ones that I'm gonna go for, like say, like if Italy and if I think that Italy and Turkey will go through, hopefully that could happen because they could be a shock. You never know. Maybe Switzerland could join Italy, but from what I'm seeing, I'm gonna at the during this video, I'm going to tell you guys which two countries I think will go through to the knockout stages. That's what I think. Um, so yeah, Portugal were the last team to win it in 2016, where England was so close, but unfortunately, it didn't came home. So hopefully, as an England fan, hopefully this will be England's year. It's going to be tough, trust me, it's going to be tough. But hopefully England can do the impossible and get their hands on the amazing European Championship trophy for the first time in their history. Because if I can remember correctly, I think the last time England won that thing was in 1972 or 1976. Let me know in the comments down below, when did England won their last European Championship? Because I was born in 2000, so I wouldn't know the last time. But yeah, I was born in 2000, so I wouldn't remember. But yeah, if you know, just let me know in the comments down below. But yes, hopefully it keeps coming home and England can do the best thing, because we've got an amazing squad. We've got Phil Foden, Jack Grealish from Aston Villa, Mason Mount from Chelsea, Jadon Sancho and Bellingham from Dortmund. An amazing squad, and this squad should do everything they can to make sure that they can forget about the World Cup heartbreak and focus on this game, because we are England. We want to make sure that we are much better than Belgium, France, and any other team, because right now we're not. And we want to prove to them that we're not scared of them, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure we beat those teams. That's all we want, and that's all we came for. So hopefully, as an England fan, these players can do everything their best, and Southgate will not be sacked, because I think he's a good manager. But overall, he can make tough decisions and he can shock people. Now, when I first saw the reacting to the squad, I was thinking, why is not? I was thinking it's good, but I think there's a few players who I think that deserves to start or deserves to be in the Euros. Tomori for one, because I recognise that he hasn't played that much under Lampard, and if he did, Southgate would have picked him. But for me, yeah, Tomori has been doing well for Chelsea last season. Defensively good. Sometimes he make a few mistakes, but other times, he can do really well. Another one, Patrick Bamford. I'm really surprised that he's not getting picked, because for Leeds United, he's been really doing well. Of course, he hasn't won the Golden Boot or something like that, but at least whenever he starts, he gets a goal. Sometimes he misses chances, but other times he scores maybe once or twice, or maybe gets a hat trick. So if you're a Leeds United fan, you must be pretty surprised that your striker, Patrick Bamford, isn't getting picked. So that must be a really worry for me. The same thing with Nick Pope. Now, I didn't recognize that Nick Pope didn't get picked, but I understood why, because he got injured. If he didn't get injured and Gareth Southgate could have picked him, I'll be really shocked. But for me, I understand why he didn't get picked, because of the injury. So yeah. James Ward-Prowse as well. I mean, whenever we get a free kick, who's going to take it? Because James Ward-Prowse last season for Southampton has been really doing well taking free kicks. Some he was close, but other times he scored. So I'm really surprised that he's not getting picked. But hopefully, and in the World Cup, he will get picked, because whenever we get a free kick, who's going to take it other than Trippier? Who? Because we haven't got anyone right now who can take good free kicks other than maybe Trent Alexander-Arnold or maybe Mason Mount. But for me, I'll rather put James Ward-Prowse to take free kicks rather than any other player, if you know what I mean. So yeah. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But I'm praying that England can do everything they can to make sure they get their hands on the trophy, because we need it. The fans need it, and the manager needs it, and even the pundits need it. I mean, look at Rio Ferdinand, Ian White. They want their former team to win this competition, but they are scared because of the defense only. Going forward, we're good, but defensively, really bad. So yeah, hopefully the England players don't let anybody down. Even I don't want the England players to go down. I want them to step up. I want them to play their best, do their best, show them what we are, show them that we are England and we are bringing this trophy home because it's coming home. Hopefully this year it's coming home rather than 3 years ago we've lost to Croatia. So yeah, really looking forward to this. I'm really excited. Tomorrow the Euro 2020 starts, and Turkey and Italy will be playing each other. That's going to be the first match. So I'm looking forward to the Euro 2020. I know you guys too. So yeah, that's basically the introduction. The Euros happened 4 years. It could have happened last year, but because of the COVID, they had to delay it by 1 year. So yeah, hopefully this COVID situation won't stop the Euros and we can enjoy it. I know you guys will, I and the rest of the world will, so I'm looking forward to tomorrow, Euro 2020. And yeah, and guess what? Like I said before, since I'm an England fan, I'll be doing match previews, match reactions, and maybe some play winners too. Because I haven't been doing it for Chelsea, but hopefully I'll be able to do it for England. So make sure you stay tuned for that one because it's going to be amazing. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but hopefully you guys can agree with me on my player ratings. If not, let me know in the comments down below. But anyway, moving on. So now that's the intro done. So now I'm going to tell you which four teams are in groups, and guess what? There's this group that I think is going to be tough for me to decide who will go through to the knockout stages, and I'll tell you guys why in just a few minutes. So now let's start off with Group A. So in Group A, in no particular order, we have Italy, Turkey, Switzerland, and Wales. Now, if you think about this, that is some pretty big group, especially for Wales, because they're facing a team like Italy and Turkey who's been really doing well, especially Switzerland. Not bad. I mean, they've got good players, but not good as Turkey. So yeah, so Wales, I think it's going to be real tough for them. But if they do well and qualify for the knockout stages, then I'll be really happy. But it's going to be tough for Wales especially. So now let me give you guys the stats on how they've qualified. So first of all, let's start off with Italy. So Italy have qualified because they've won 10 games in their 10 matches, in qualifying, which is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And they've only conceded four, just four. That is, I mean, if you look about this, that is pretty good. Could there be the team that could perhaps maybe win the Euros this year? Because if you think about it, 10 wins in 10 games is really good. No defeats, no draws whatsoever. Just 10 games. I mean, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So yeah. So that's it. That's it. They've 10 games, 10 wins, conceded 4 and scored 37. So that is pretty good for them. Of course, the Chelsea players who will be playing for Italy are Emerson and Jorginho. Those are the only two Chelsea players that will be playing for Italy. It's pretty hard. It's pretty surprising to see that Jorginho is Chelsea's top scorer this season. Just 7 goals, and it all comes from penalties, which is not good. Not good. That's why I'm hoping next season that we can sign a proper number 9 person who can score goals in every single game. That's what we want, because if we want to be title contenders, then we've got to sign someone who can play really well as a striker. Jorginho isn't a striker. We all know that. He's a midfielder. So we really need to sign someone who can play, who can do really well for Chelsea. But anyway, Emerson and Jorginho are going to play for Italy, and yeah, I think they're the team that can really do it. But anyway, let's move on into the next one, which is of course Switzerland. They've qualified because they've in their 8 games that they played, they've won 5, drew 2, and lost 1. They've scored 19 and conceded only 6. And guess what? They were lucky, because if you look at Denmark, which I'm going to talk about in a few minutes, they've got 16 points, while Switzerland have got 17. I mean, Denmark were undefeated, but they've got 17 points. So Switzerland were very lucky because if they lost a few couple of games, they could have been out. They could have been out. So well done to Switzerland for at least getting 1 point ahead of Denmark. So well done to them. Of course, there aren't any Chelsea players that play for Switzerland. So yeah, but 5 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss isn't too bad. Isn't really too bad. So yeah, like Switzerland have a really good squad, but could they beat Italy and Turkey, especially the two cities that are really doing well? We're gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, well done to Switzerland. They really tried their best. They want to make sure they go through, and they've done that. So well done to Switzerland. Now let's move on into Turkey. In the 10 games that they played, they've won 7, drew 2, and lost only 1. You know, of course, Turkey had more game time than Switzerland, but you know, they've 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 scored 18 and conceded just only 3. 3. That is pretty impressive, you know. They haven't scored as much, but they've conceded only 3. So that's why I said that Turkey have a really good squad for, and the manager as well has been really doing well. So could they be another country that could possibly win the Euros this year because of that stats? You know, that's pretty good from for Turkey. So well done to them. So the next one is of course Wales, part of the UK, of course. They qualified because they just about qualified because if you look at this stat, 4 wins, 2 draws, and 2 losses. Slovakia and Hungary were in third and fourth place, you know, the playoffs. So Wales were lucky to get 1 point ahead of Slovakia because if they didn't do that, that means they could have gone for the playoffs and maybe they could have at least won or draw. So well done to Wales. Well done for getting 1 point because you know it's really tough, really tough. So for them to face Croatia, Slovakia, Hungary, but they did the job done. So well done to them. Now, like I said before, the two teams who I think are going to qualify for the knockout stages are, of course, Italy, but the other two, Switzerland or Turkey. You know, I think Wales, I think they'll be in third place, but between Turkey and Switzerland, it's going to be really tough. But for this one, I'm going to go for Italy and Turkey as the Group A winners because Italy, you see that stat, 10 wins in 10 games. So I know they're going to be in first place. I think Turkey are going to be in second place because they've only just conceded 3 and lost only 1 game. So I think Turkey and Italy will be in the knockout stages, whereas Wales, I think they'll be in third place. You know, if they're out, bad luck to them. But if they're in third place, there's a possibility for them to be in the next one. So yes, those are my Group A winners. So as always, let me know in the comments down below who's your Group A winners, Group B, Group C, Group D, all the way to Group F, like I mentioned before. So those are my Group A winners, Italy and Turkey. Now, let's move on into Group D. So in no particular order, cities or countries in Group D are Belgium, Denmark, Finland, and Russia. Now, this is a really tough group, especially for Finland and maybe for Russia as well. Because if you remember, Russia were in the quarterfinals of the World Cup and they've lost to Croatia. So this is going to be tough for them because they're facing especially Belgium and Denmark, who's been really doing well in the last couple of games. So yeah, Finland, of course, they're doing well, but it's going to also be tough for them. So you know, so yeah, let's see how they did it. Starting off with Denmark. Denmark, they've qualified because they've won 4, drawn 4, and lost none. They've scored 23 goals and conceded only 6. And they've got 16 points as well. 16 points. 1 point behind Switzerland, of course. So yeah, the Chelsea players who are playing for Denmark are Only Andreas Christensen. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention Ethan Ampadu is playing for Wales. Yeah, I remember. So sorry, Ethan Ampadu, if I forgot your name. But yeah, Denmark, Andreas Christensen. I mean, he's been absolutely outstanding for Chelsea. You know, especially under Thomas Tuchel, because whenever Thiago Silva gets injured, he can do what he does. Thiago Silva does, you know, getting the ball back, defensively good, playing well as a centre back. So yeah, really, really doing well for Chelsea, and I know that he could really do well. The same thing for Denmark. So yeah, big up to Andreas Christensen for doing well. Now let's move on into Belgium. Belgium, they've also won 10, drawn nil, and conceded nil as well. No games, 10 games, 10 wins. No draws, no defeats whatsoever. They scored 40 goals and conceded only 3. The same thing with Italy. So there's a possibility that Belgium, could this be Belgium's year where they get their hands on the European trophy? Could they do it? Because Italy so far have been doing well, Turkey have been doing now, and look at Belgium, 10 wins in 10 games. Not bad. Really not bad. So yeah, I'm a little bit scared of both Italy and Belgium if we face them. But Belgium, well done. I mean, the same way with Turkey, but they've scored more goals than Italy. Italy have scored 37 goals, while Belgium has scored 40 goals. You know, so yeah, really, really hard to predict that one. But it's between Belgium and Italy so far who can have the possibility of winning the European Championship this season. So yeah, really, really tough for them. Now let's move on into Finland. So Finland, they've qualified because they had 6 wins, no draws, but 4 losses. Conceded 16 and scored 16 and have only conceded 10. They're in second place because they're way behind Italy. I mean, Teemu Pukki, of course, is their main man because he's the championship's top scorer last season. 26 scores in 46 games, which is not bad. Really not bad. So if Teemu Pukki can do well for Finland like it did for Norwich, then maybe there's a chance for Finland to go through. But like I said, it's going to be tough because they're facing the best team, ranked the first, like Belgium and Denmark. So yeah, it's going to be tough for them. But well done to Finland, and especially for Teemu Pukki because I know he can do well for Finland. So yeah. Now let's move on into Russia, if I can find it quickly. And uh, I've talked about Denmark. So Russia, let's see. Sorry guys, it's taking long. Oh, where are Russia now? Oh, here we go. So Russia, they've qualified because they've won 8 and they've only lost 2 twice, which is not bad. They've conceded 8 and scored 33, which is not bad at all. So if you look at Russia, out this when I said this would be tough for them, I think they have a chance to go through the knockout stages and maybe perhaps knock Denmark out. You know, so Russia, really well done for them. Like I said before, they were so heartbreaking that they've lost a quarterfinal against Croatia on penalties. But could this be their year where they could maybe perhaps win the championship? Even though I know that sounds crazy, but could they have a chance to go through? Could they actually do it? So yeah. So for this one, for the two teams who I think are definitely going to go for the knockout stages are Belgium and Denmark. I think Russia will be in third place because of the amazing squad they've got. I think Finland will be in fourth place. I think they've got no chance of going through to knockout stages. But the two teams who I think are going to go through are Belgium and Denmark. You know, that is my final decision. So yeah, so that is my Group B winners and everything you need to know about that one. Now let's move on into Group C. So in Group C, we've, in no particular order, we've got, oh, what's going on now? Sorry guys. All right, let me sort this. So in, sorry guys, there's something going on with the internet. Give me, so in Group C, sorry, we've got. If I can quickly find it, I know. So, uh, see, something is going wrong. Okay, so in Group C, we got. If in okay, in Group C, okay, so in Group C, we've got Austria, uh, North Macedonia, Netherlands, and Ukraine. Now there's one country that really shocked me. North Macedonia. I've never heard that country before ever. This is the very first time, and this is the first time that they've ever qualified for the championship because it's not because North Macedonia has a small club. They're not a really good side, but that's a shock for me that they've actually qualified for the Euro 2020. So well done to them. I think the fans will be happy, the manager and the players will be happy as well. But they're not. But I'm not. I know they're not going to like what I'm about to say in a couple of minutes. So yeah. So North Macedonia is a really shocked one. But anyway, let's move on into the stats. So let's start off with Austria. So they've qualified because the last 10 games, they've won 6, drew once, and lost 3. They scored 19 goals and conceded only 9. And they were in second place, of course, behind Poland. So yeah, um, I don't think I haven't got much to talk about Australia, and also, because they've qualified well done, they've did well, but I haven't got much to talk about them. But I know I'm going to talk about the Netherlands because I know that there's a couple of players who plays for Netherlands, and the two are Jorginho Wijnaldum from Liverpool and Steven Bergwijn from Tottenham. Those are the only two players who I know who's playing for the Netherlands. So let's see how they qualified, shall we? So the Netherlands, they've qualified because in the last 8 games, they've won 6, drew once, and only lost once. They scored 24 goals and conceded only 7. You know, so yeah, Netherlands. In the last couple of games, they have not been really good. They started to lose and get a few draws, but in that qualifying, they really did well. Steven Bergwijn and Jorginho Wijnaldum especially are the main players for them. So yeah, well done to them. And if they can concentrate on forget about the loss and concentrate on going to the knockout stages, then yeah, maybe then they can do well as well. So yeah, so let's move on into a team that is a shock, and that is of course North Macedonia. So in their games, they've won 10, won 4, lost 4, and drew twice. And they've scored 12 goals and conceded 13. Now the only reason why they qualified is because they were in the playoffs. So I believe they've won a couple of games, and the last game they've won the game against the country, which I cannot tell you about because I've forgotten. But well done to them. I didn't expect them to qualify for the next one, but they did well. So yeah, it's a big shock, but well done to them. But for this one, I don't think North Macedonia aren't going to do it this time. I think they're going to be out. They're going to be in fourth place because if you look at those teams, especially the Netherlands and Ukraine, they're going to absolutely destroy North Macedonia. So yeah, unfortunately, North Macedonia, I don't think you'll be able to go through to the next round. So it's my opinion. I'm not saying that you can't do it, but it's my opinion. Now let's move on into the Ukrainish, as I like to call it. So in their last 8 games, they've won 6, drew twice, and lost none. They've scored 17 goals and conceded only 4, and they're in first place. And I don't think there's anything I can talk about this one, but I'm not sure if there's any um, qualifier. I'm not sure if there's any Chelsea players that are playing for the Ukraine. So yeah, big up to Ukraine as well. They were in first place. Um, in the warm up. They've won 3 games. So yeah, well done to them. And personally think they can do it. So the two teams who I think are definitely going to go through to the next round are the Netherlands and Ukraine. I think North Macedonia will be in fourth place, and I think Australia will be in third place. Oh, sorry, Austria, sorry. But the Netherlands and Ukraine are the two popular countries, so I think these two will definitely go through to the knockout stages. I think they will do so. So yeah, I know this video is long, but and it took me a while, but I just want to do this because it's a special one, and I'm looking forward to the Euro. So yeah, forgive me if and after this I'll be taking a few breaths and taking a drink because like I said, I'm looking forward to the Euro 2020 that's coming up, that's starting this Friday. So now let's move on into Group D. So in Group D we have Croatia, Czech Republic, England, and Scotland. I want to say well done to Scotland because for me, yeah, in their qualifying, then they haven't been doing well, but in the playoffs, they worked their hardest off. They worked really, really hard to make sure that their team can qualify for the Euro 2020. And I want to say well done to them. Big up to them. Another country that's part of the UK. So it's Wales and Scotland. Unfortunately, the Republic of Ireland couldn't manage to qualify. And so is the Northern Ireland just below it. So bad luck to them. But well done to Scotland and well done to Wales, part of the UK that really wants to be entertained. So I'm looking forward to that one as well. So yeah, as you can see, the England, my fan, the England are part of in Group D, and they're facing Czech Republic, who we won once and lost once, and we're facing a team also which is Croatia that we've lost in the World Cup semi-final, which is unfortunate. We had so many chances to beat them, but unfortunately we couldn't take them. So yeah, unfortunately for Croatia, unfortunately for England, let's hope they can get revenge and beat Croatia and qualify for the knockout stages. So yeah, let's hope they can get about that. So in no particular order, let's start off with England. So they qualified in the last 8 games, they've won 7, lost once and drawn none. They've scored 37 goals and conceded only 7. And like I said, the only team that we've lost was the Czech Republic. The rest of them, fine. I mean, we faced Czech Republic twice. We've won once and we've lost to them once. So yeah, that's the only team that we've lost. But if you look at the players, like I mentioned, especially the Chelsea players, they've got Ben Chilwell, Reece James, and Mason Mount, who's been Chelsea's best player of the season. So I'm hoping that Gareth Southgate starts these three. Well, I'm not sure if he's going to start Ben Chilwell or Reece James, but he has to start Mason Mount because you can see whenever he gets the ball, he will try to shoot from long distance. And maybe he can be like Jack Grealish. For me, yeah, if anyone asks me who would you rather pick, Jack Grealish or Mason Mount, to be honest with you, I'm gonna go for Mason Mount. And I know you guys will be angry about this one, but the only reason why is because Jack Grealish has been really doing well for Aston Villa, and he has an amazing skills and tricks as well. You know, even though he cannot score, at least he can get an assist. So yeah, for me, yeah, I'm gonna pick Jack Grealish, rather than Mason Mount, in my opinion. But anyway, let's move on. So the Czech Republic, of course, we England faced them in guess what? This is the first time that England are facing um, Croatia in different group stages. We faced them in the Euro 2020 qualifying, and now we're facing them in the group stage, which is really surprising. But yeah, they've went through because they've won 5 times, lost 3, and drew none. They've conceded 11 goals while they've scored 13 of them. And like I said before, Czech Republic are a really good team. When we faced them, it was hard to beat them, especially the last game. But yeah, But yeah, they've been really doing well, the Czech Republic. Even though they've lost a few games, I know they're still a great team. It's tough for them to face, really tough for them to face. But yeah, I think Croatia will put their hearts and play their really best and make sure that they don't get knocked out, because they really want to really do this for the fans and for their team. So yeah, I'm looking forward to facing um Czech Republic and see if we can play well. Now let's move on into Croatia. Now Croatia, the last 8 games they won 5 times, drew twice, and lost one. They've conceded 7 goals and yeah, conceded 7 goals, sorry, and scored 17. And the only player who's playing for Croatia is Mateo Kovacic, who has a few ups and downs this season. Sometimes he can play good, but other times he can play poorly. But as long as Croatia, Mateo Kovacic gets picked by his manager, I'm not going to doubt him. So well done to Kovacic, well done to him. So yeah, Croatia, like I said before, England faced them in a World Cup semi-final and we've lost to them. We had so many chances, but when Manuel Mandzukic scored in the last minute, that was heartbreaking, really heartbreaking. If we would have get those chances and put them in the back of the net and face and maybe we've gone to the final. Of course, I'm not saying that we will win the World Cup final, but I would have said that we maybe would have gone to the final if we had those chances and put them in the back of the net. So hopefully, when we face Croatia this time, we'll be different. We'll make sure that we beat them comfortably and go through to the knockout stages as well. So hopefully, England can do far more better when we face Croatia this season than we done 3 years ago. So now, last and not least, Scotland. Now, the part of the UK as well. So Scotland, unfortunately for them, they've won 5 games and drew five. Sorry, they've won 5 times and they've lost 5 times. They've scored 16 and conceded 19, which is not good. But I think Scotland faced Israel in the last game of the playoff, and when they really have to score penalties and make the goalkeeper make saves, that was the moment for them. And I was so happy for them seeing Scotland beat Israel on penalties and qualify for the Euro 2020. So well done to them. They deserved it because by this time you'd be thinking to yourself, no, Scotland have not got a chance whatsoever. But since they worked really, really hard for them, well done to them. Well done to them. So big up Scotland. So now the two teams who I think are going to go through to the knockout stages, or the winners of Group D, are Croatia and England. I'd say that it's going to get close to see who will be in third place or fourth place. For me, yeah, I want Scotland to perhaps be in third place and maybe qualify for the knockout stages because for the last couple of years they haven't been that great. But for them to be qualifying for the Euro 2020 this season has been absolutely fantastic. So let's hope they can do everything they can to make sure that they don't get knocked out. So yeah, unfortunately for Czech Republic, I think they'll go out. That is my opinion. I'm not sure what you guys think, but in my opinion, I think the Czech Republic will be knocked out. So the two teams who I think that will go through to the knockout stages are Croatia and England. That is the two teams who I think that will go through. Now let's move on into Group E. So in Group E, we have Poland, Spain, Sweden, and Slovakia. Now, if you look at them, the two favorites who I think that will go through are Poland and Spain. But I'll get to them and I'll tell you why in just a minute. So yeah, Sweden. Before I get into the stats, I want to just say that the fans, the players, and the manager will be sad to hear that Zlatan Ibrahimovic are not going to play for Sweden anymore because of the injury. If Zlatan Ibrahimovic didn't have the injury, then yes, maybe Sweden will have a chance to go through. But unfortunately, it's not going to happen. So bad luck to Sweden. Feel sorry for them. Bad luck to them. So yes, let's start off with Poland. So Poland, they've qualified because in the last 10 games, they've won 8 times, drew once, and lost once. They've scored 18 goals and conceded only 5. And their main man is, of course, Robert Lewandowski, as people like to call him, louder than Lewandowski, because he is a goal machine. He is really doing well for Bayern Munich in the last couple of games. I remember he signed for Dortmund and now he plays for Bayern Munich. He scores goals after goals after goals every single game. That's why he's a threat. Of course, he hasn't been scoring many goals for Poland, but I know that if he does well for Poland, I know that they have a chance to perhaps maybe qualify for maybe go far as they can, or So yeah, Robert Lewandowski is their main player for Portland. Main player. Now let's move on into Spain. Their last 10 games, they've won 10 times, 8 draw. Yeah, sorry. They played 10 times, won 8 times, drew twice, and lost none. They scored 31 goals and conceded only 5. Just 5 goals they conceded. And of course, the Chelsea players, especially the goalkeepers who's playing for Spain, are Cesar Azpilicueta, the Chelsea captain, and Kepa Arrizabalaga as a Chelsea keeper. Now I know that he hasn't been picked because he hasn't been playing lots of games for Chelsea, but he's still our number 2. He's still our Chelsea keeper. So for this one, I'm happy that he get picked, but unfortunately, I don't think he will start Kepa Arrizabalaga. I think he will start David De Gea rather than Kepa Arrizabalaga. That is what I think. Sweden. Now they've qualified because in the last 10 games they've won 6 times, drew 3 times, and conceded only once. Sorry, lost once. They've scored 23 goals while conceded 9. And like I said before, without Zlatan Ibrahimovic, they've got no chance. I feel bad for them because I really want Zlatan Ibrahimovic to show the world that he's still here and he can still score goals. But unfortunately for them, it hasn't been happened. It hasn't been happened. Now, this one shocked me, but I understood this. Slovenia, I think they've qualified because they've got the same points as Slovakia, but unfortunately they allowed. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened. I don't know how they got through to the knockout stages. I really don't. Oh, sorry, into the group stage. I really don't know. It's either they allowed them to go through, or they wanted to. Or is it the playoffs? I really don't know about that one. But Slovakia, well done to them. They've done well, even though even though they had the chance to close the gap, they couldn't do it. So, but unfortunately, they've went through to the playoffs, and I think they've won all the games. So, well done to Slovakia. Big up to them. So, for this one, unfortunately, the two teams who I think they're gonna go through are Poland and Spain. If if Zlatan Ibrahimovic would have played for Sweden, then my choice would have been Poland and Sweden. But unfortunately, since Zlatan Ibrahimovic isn't playing, unfortunately, I'm going to have to go for Poland and Spain. But if Sweden can play really well without Zlatan Ibrahimovic, then I'll be very happy for that one. But unfortunately, it's not going to happen for them. So yeah, really bad for Sweden and for the manager, the players, and the fans as well. Now let's move on into the final group, and for this group, this one is going to be really really tough for me to decide, and I'll tell you guys why in a few minutes. But for Group F, in no particular order, we have France, Germany, Hungary, and Portugal. Now, if you look at these teams, this is a very big stage. France facing Germany and Portugal, Portugal facing France, these teams. That this is going to be tough for me to decide which two teams are going to go through. I know one of them will go through, but the other two is going to be really tough to see who will be in second place or who will be in third place. Hungary, I know they'll be out because they're facing one of the best teams in the country. Portugal, Germany, and France. So I know they're going to be out. But for the other two, for the other teams, it's going to be really tough. That's why I'm looking forward to these games rather than the other group stages, because this is big. This is big group stage. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to to know which two teams will go through and which will go out. So yeah, so the two teams so let's start off with France. France, they've qualified because they've won 8 games in the last 10 games, drew once and lost once. They scored 25 goals and conceded only 6. Now, if you look at France, like I said before, they have maybe they have a chance to win the Euro 2020 this season, because if you look at the squad that they've got: N'Golo Kante, Kurt Zouma, well, who's been really poorly but um, done good things for Chelsea, Olivier Giroud, Champions League trophy, Kylian Mbappe, Antoine Griezmann, you know, Karim Benzema has been doing well for Real Madrid. Yeah, they've got an amazing squad. Hugo Lloris, the captain, making big save for Tottenham. So that's why I'm scared of France, because if you look at them, they've got an amazing squad, and I know that they'll win all the 3 games. They maybe concede a few goals, but not all of them, because their defense is doing really well. You know, in the last game, they haven't conceded against what was it? Was it the Czech Republic here? So their defense is really good. And going forward, they're good. They had chances to make it more goals, but I couldn't care. As long as France do well, then yeah, maybe they have a chance. So France, I know that they'll be the team that they'll definitely go through. Now let's look at Germany. So Germany qualified because in the last 8 games, they've won 7 and they've only just lost once. They scored 30 goals and conceded only 7. Now, if you look at Germany in the last couple of games, they had a shock, you know. They had shock. I don't know. I think they've lost to one team. I don't know who it is. Is it North Macedonia or something like that? Yeah, that was the shock of the season. They've lost a team who are not who are not who I never heard of before. So Germany, that was a shock, really shock. They had so many chances, but they've lost to North Macedonia or somebody else. But Germany, they're doing well. If you look at the squad that they've got: Serge Gnabry, Ilkay Gundogan, Manuel Neuer, who else? Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, Antonio Rudiger. That is an amazing squad. So that's why it's going to be tough for me to see which two teams will qualify for the next round. And I'll tell you, and I'll give you my opinion after when I finish doing this group. So yeah, Germany, I know that they're the best team. So yeah, well done to them. Well done to them. Let's look at Portugal. So in the last 8 games, they've won 5, drawn twice, and lost only 1. I'm not sure who they've lost to. Or maybe they've lost to Ukraine, but yeah, Portugal. Of course, their main player is Cristiano Ronaldo, who plays for Juventus. Every time he starts, he gets a goal. Sometimes he can be frustrated, but other times he's been really good in the final third. You know, if you look at how many goals he's got for Portugal, 104. That is absolutely amazing. No other player can beat that. Not even Robert Lewandowski or Messi or any other striker. 104 goals in appearances for Portugal. That is amazing. That is absolutely incredible. So Ronaldo is their main player, and also Bruno Fernandes, and I forgot who else. But yeah, well done to Portugal. Yeah, I know they've haven't been that great in the last couple of games, you know, due to Spain, due to Germany, but I know that they're still the best team. Of course, they're the team that won the Euros 5 years ago in 2016. So yeah, well done to them. Now let's look at and last and not least, the last country of all is Hungary. You know, they've qualified because they've won 4 times and they've lost only 4 in the last 8 games. They play off, but they play off they went to the playoffs via the Nations League, and all you have to do in the Nations League is to win their games to qualify for this stage. So yeah, even though I think Hungary aren't the best team, I want to congratulate them for getting a chance to be in the European Championship, one of the best competitions in the world. Even though I think FIFA World Cup is much more better than this, but yeah. Anyway, well done to Hungary. Now, for this one, the two teams who I think are qualified for the knockout stages, it's so tough. I know France is one of them, but it's between Germany and Portugal. But for this one, I'm gonna pick Portugal to join France, because if you look at the squad, Bruno Fernandes, Cristiano Ronaldo, the squad that they've got is absolutely amazing. Germany as well, they've got an amazing squad, but it's going to be so tough for them. If Germany beat Hungary and Portugal, then yes, they have a chance. Then yes, they're the team who can go through the knockout stages. But in my opinion, I think Portugal would do it. I'm sorry, Germany, it's got to be Portugal. I know France will definitely go through, but Portugal, I think they will do it, because if they don't, that means Cristiano Ronaldo, the manager, and the fans will be very, very frustrated. They would be very frustrated to see that they haven't qualified. So yeah, unfortunately, France and Portugal will definitely go through. And now, the moment you guys have all been waiting for, it's time for me to decide who is going to be the winner of the Euro 2020 this season. Like I said, it's supposed to be last season, but for this season, but because of the COVID, they had to delay it and move it on to this season. So my prediction, who I think is going to win the Euro 2020, is France. It's France for me, because if you look at the squad that they've got, Olivier Giroud, Antoine Griezmann, Kylian Mbappe, Kurt Zuma, Olivier Giroud, Hugo Lloris, they have an amazing squad, and their main player is Kylian Mbappe, who does good tricks and always get fouls and scoring great goals as well. So I think France would do it. Of course, there's a possibility of other countries as well. If you look at Italy, 10 wins in 10 games, brilliant. The same with Belgium, 10 wins in 10 games. Maybe Portugal can do it again. Maybe some other teams as well. And perhaps the big question is, can England do it? Could England win the championship for the first time in their history? Listen, even though I want France to win, I want England to win as well. It would be really great seeing England win the trophy. But like I mentioned before, the only problem that England have got is the defense. Going forward, like I said, we are always afraid when you got Jack Grealish, Mason Mount, Phil Foden, this and that. But defensively, we're a little bit shaky. That's the only thing I'm scared of. So yeah, I want England to win. But in my opinion, I think France can do it. Their squad is too good, you know. And I know that every team is scared of France right now. Every single team, even Portugal, Italy, Germany, or maybe Turkey or Sweden, they are scared of France because the way they've won the World Cup. And guess what? And here's the great news. If if France win the Euros, then N'Golo Kante has won the Ballon d'Or. He has got to win that. So that's why, in my opinion, that France are definitely going to win. Not because I want N'Golo Kante to win the Ballon d'Or, but because of the squad they've got. So yes, it would be great seeing N'Golo Kante and one of the Chelsea players win Ballon d'Or, because like I mentioned, he's become one of the best midfielders in England. Not in the world, but the best midfielders in England. If you look at his stats, ever since he came to England, he's won the Premier League under Leicester City. He's won the Premier League under Chelsea. Next season, the FA Cup and the World Cup. Next season, Europa League. Last season, unfortunately, nothing. But this season, Champions League. And he's won 3 man of the matches in a row. 2 semi-finals against Real Madrid and 1 in the Champions League final against Manchester City. How good is he? So if he can do like he does with Chelsea, winning the ball back and maybe starting the counter-attacking that gets a goal, I think he has to win that Ballon d'Or. Of course, Robert Lewandowski is another option because he broke the record in the Bundesliga, scoring 41 goals in 30 games. But for me, I think N'Golo Kante should win this 100% for me. I want you, what you guys think? Who should win the Ballon d'Or? Robert Lewandowski or N'Golo Kante? Let me guys know. But yes, that is my opinion, and that's my final prediction. Who's going to be the winner? And it's going to be France for me. Like I said, there's a possibility of other teams, but I think France could do it. I think since they've won the World Cup, I think they could win this competition, for the first time in their history. So yes, I think France can do it. So that's it, guys. That is the end of a very, very long video. I know it's been long, but I'm so excited because I'm looking forward to the Euro 2020, and it starts tomorrow. And Turkey and Italy are going to be the two teams that will face each other for the first match. And the game kicks off tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. UK time. Of course, many other countries are looking forward to this, not only in the UK, but also Germany, France, Italy. Everyone in the country are looking forward to this one, and I'm also looking forward to it. So yes, this is a long video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you do, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, and tell all your friends that I'm going to do a match preview for the England games since I'm an England fan. And maybe there's a possibility of me doing a live watch along of England games as well. It all depends if the England games doesn't include doesn't feature during my work time, because I work on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So if there's any games that doesn't include those dates, then I'll be doing a live watch along. So make sure you stay tuned for that one. So yes, I'm going to take a deep breath because I've been talking too long. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And this is called Everything You Need to Know About the Euro 2020. We're supposed to be happening last year, but it's been delayed because of COVID. So it's happening this year. And I cannot wait. It starts tomorrow and it ends on the 11th of July. So yes, like I said before, the four teams will be battling out to see which two teams could be in the knockout stages, and it starts the round of 16, then it goes to the round of 8, quarterfinals, semi-finals, and final, and one team will be battling out to see who will win the Euro 2020 this year. Hopefully it's England, but in my prediction, I'm going to go for France. Let me guys know what you think in the comments down below. Who you think is going to win the Euro 2020 this summer. But yes, I'm looking forward. Let's hope England can do well this summer, and perhaps maybe go through to the final, and perhaps maybe even win the final and lift the European trophy, because it will be a dream come true, really a dream come true. So let's hope England can win it. Let's hope that it's coming home, because that's the song, it's coming home. Let's hope it really comes home. Otherwise it's going to be like 3 years ago, it's not coming home. So let's hope we as England fans can be happy. Let's hope we can support the players, the manager, everything, because we want this. We really want this to happen. So yes, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys for the match preview for England versus Croatia, because that's the first game that England are going to play, and it's going to be played this Sunday at 2 p.m. UK time. So I'm looking forward to that one. So see you guys for that one. So yes, thank you guys so much for watching. Look after yourselves. Come on, England. Let's do this. Let's do it this time. So yes, I'm going to take a deep breath. I've got to rest. So yes, look after yourselves. Take care. Have a great day, and peace.